Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, mentally ill man beaten by mob after allegedly killing man. Police rescued a man believed to be of unsound mind after irate citizens turned on him following a stabbing incident which left one man dead and two others wounded in Martha Bridge, Trelawney on Friday. Reports say he was severely beaten, and according to the parish's police chief, Superintendent Winston Milton, he is now in hospital under police guard. Reports are that in the early hours of Friday afternoon, the accused is said to have attacked and stabbed the three men. The men suffered various wounds, with one later succumbing to the injuries he sustained. According to Milton, the name of the deceased has not yet been ascertained. The other two men were taken to hospital as well, but their injuries are not deemed as life-threatening at this time. This death follows the killing of a 61-year-old offender, Milton Morris, who died in February due to injuries he sustained from being hit with a pipe in January. Two killed, one injured in Patrick City shooting. Two men were killed and another wounded in a gun attack in Patrick City, St. Andrew on Thursday night. The deceased have been identified as 29-year-old Raheem Nelson, a taxi operator from Beacon's Field, Patrick City, and a 34-year-old Kerith Ship Donaldson, a business operator from a Kingston 20 address. Reports indicate that the men were sitting along the roadway at the intersection of Conway Drive and Aberville Avenue when a lone gunman approached and opened fire. They were rushed to the hospital where Nelson and Donaldson were pronounced dead. The third victim is undergoing treatment. The matter remains under investigation. Mavada's son's murder conviction quashed by Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal has quashed the murder convictions and the sentences of Dante Brooks, son of dancehall entertainer David Mavado Brooks, and his co-accused Andre Hines. The decision was handed down on Friday morning. We respect the judicial process at all levels and are pleased that the Court of Appeal has ruled in our favor. This decision reaffirms the merits of our case and underscores the important legal principles at stake. Tamika Harris, one of the attorneys at law who represented Brooks during the initial trial, told the news in a statement. The court heard the appeal on December 10 and 11 last year and later reserved the judgment. While the journey through the courts has been challenging, I remained hopeful. I appreciate the Court of Appeal's careful consideration of the matter and its ruling. We remain dedicated to upholding the rule of law and ensuring that our clients' rights and interests are fully protected, Harris said. Attorney-at-law Hugh Wildman represented Brooks during the appeal. Prominent attorneys Peter Champagny, West Senior Smith, and Harris had represented Brooks during the initial murder trial. In 2021, then 18-year-old Brooks was sentenced to life imprisonment for the 2018 killing of Lorenzo Thomas in Cassava Peace, St. Andrew. Thomas was shot, beheaded, and his body set ablaze. Brooks was ordered to serve 22 years before becoming eligible for parole. Hines was also sentenced to life imprisonment. He was ordered to serve 17 years before becoming eligible for parole. Both were also sentenced to 15 years behind the bars for arson. Attorney West Senior Smith, who represented Hines at the appeal, said the verdicts of acquittal were entered for both men on Friday. He reserved a comment on the case until the written decision had been published and disseminated. I want to read and digest it properly first before commenting, Senior Smith told the news. I know that certain grounds were common to both appellants as it pertains to the directions that the trial judge gave and the credibility of the witness. I would like to see the written decision first so I can comment in a more informed way. Kudos to the team. A lot of hard work went into the process, he said. Senior Smith and Kemar Robinson represented Hines at the appeal. Senior Smith said there were several grounds of appeal, including on the evidence of visual and voice identification. Suspect charged for allegedly shooting at cops who tried to capture him. A 25-year-old man was on Thursday charged for allegedly shooting at the police when they tried to apprehend him in relation to a case. Kemal Kelly of Mannings Hill District, St. Andrew, is charged with assault as a common law and using a firearm to commit a scheduled offense. The police say the shooting incident happened in his community on Thursday, February 27. Reports from the Lawrence Tavern Police are that about 11:55 a.m., a team was in the community when Kelly, a suspect in a case, was seen traveling in a taxi. The police signaled the driver to stop and instructed the occupant to exit the vehicle, and they complied. According to the police, upon exiting the vehicle, Kelly pulled a revolver from his waistband and pointed it at the police. The police say the cops took evasive action and opened gunfire in his direction before he managed to run away. The police say an operation was conducted on Wednesday, March 5, during which Kelly was arrested at a house in Lawrence Tavern. He was taken into custody and subsequently charged on Thursday, March 6, after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. 22-year-old man accused of threatening to expose young girl and having sex with her charged. A 22-year-old St. Catherine cabinet maker has been charged for allegedly threatening to release sexual explicit videos of a young girl to force her to visit a house in Spanish Town and have sex. The police say Alex Bilight of an Old Harbor Road address was apprehended on Monday after the girl called the police while at the house where the alleged act was committed, and the team was dispatched to the location. He is charged with procuring sexual intercourse, grievous sexual assault by threat, abduction, rape, grievous sexual assault, and the sexual touching of a child. Reports from the Spanish Town Police are that Bilight and the young girl met via a social media platform. He allegedly managed to convince her to exchange sexually explicit videos and threatened to release them if she did not meet with him. According to the police, the young girl met with Bilight as requested, and he took her to the house where he committed the alleged acts. While being transported to the house, the girl contacted the police emergency control center, and the team was immediately dispatched to the location. Bilight was apprehended during the operation and taken into custody. He was subsequently charged on Thursday, March 6, after a question and answer session. Bilight is slated to appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court to answer to the charges on Tuesday, March 11. Man fatally shot during tussle with the police in Spanish Town. A man was fatally shot in a section of Spanish Town, St. Catherine, on Thursday during a tussle with a policeman on a targeted operation. He has not yet been identified. The incident happened about 7:15 p.m. at 2B Oxford Road. According to the police, a team carried out a snap raid in the area in search of suspects in a case of murder. The police reportedly saw a man matching the description of a suspect at a bar and approached him. The man ran toward a house and was chased by the police. The police say the man was informed of the reason for their presence, but while they attempted to make an arrest, the suspect grabbed the firearm of one of the officers. This reportedly led to a tussle, during which the officer was bitten on his left hand. The suspect was shot after he refused the command to stop resisting arrest. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Relatives of people who died without wills advised to contact AGD. Relatives of people who have died without living wills are being encouraged to contact the Administrator General's Department to administer those estates with personal properties valued at up to $1.5 million. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck explained that with the gazetting of the Administrator General's Maximum Value of Small Estates Amendment Order 2024, relatives can avoid hefty legal fees in claiming the personal properties of their deceased loved ones.
So you have monies left in the bank by a person who has not made a will. For the person to get a lawyer to take out a couple $100,000, it doesn't make sense. But what happens now, if they go to the Administrator General's Department, they issue an instrument of administration, may charge 5%, and whatever the figures, I don't know the percentage. And in no time, the personality can be retrieved from the bank or a card transferred to a member of the family. We have about 50 odd million, and we're asking attorneys who still have bills to put in before the end of March. This is about the third year in a row. And we spent 410 million out of the 460 million. So we have about 50 million. So attorneys who still have certificates, put them in, because we don't want you to hear about the Ministry of Justice owes anything.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.